Hello and welcome into the Fan Speak Network. I am your host, Justin Bruni. Joining me, as always, is my co-host and partner, Mr. Andrew, the TD King, Raub. And we have a very special guest this evening coming off of his first Best Ball Underdog, Best Ball Mania 5 finals appearance, Mr. Jake Wiles. Good evening, gentlemen. Happy Friday Eve. I hope you had enjoyed your New Year's hump day.
Yeah, enjoyed the games. I've been watching, the college football playoffs, which is awesome as well. The Raub household though did go through the stomach bug, so Christmas vacation not so great in the household as far as health is concerned, but all on the mend. No IR stints for us. We are ready to get back into it. So yeah, pretty excited to talk some playoff best ball here.
Love it, love it. How are you doing, Jake? Welcome.
Doing fabulous. Ready to get into this thing. Have some fun.
Why don't you share with the viewers how much you pulled in this week, making the finals?
So obviously the finals team pays $37.50, but then I got an additional $22.50 from placing 293rd. So $6 grand total on that team.
Fuck yeah,
and
dude!
Was fortunate enough to get a puppy 3 and a puppy in as well, and a hound dog. So got a nice little like 5G payout going.
Let's go. Well, well done. You said 293.
293 in best ball. Yeah,
that's 293 out of 600,000 plus is pretty goddamn good. Okay, so pour one out for Jake, folks. Let's go ahead and smash the like button for him.
It's funny. Jake and I almost finished the same because I finished 299 last year. So that's it's pretty funny how close we actually finished there.
Yeah, in a year where the structure was nice, like 293rd probably would have paid way less last year.
Way less. But you would have had a counterbalance to that from your regular season winnings though. Because like last year, I collected a fair amount from regular season. Like I think had like 4 500 level teams, and then another 6 250. So that really helped me out last year. Feeling it right now, obviously not making the final. So a little bit tough, but hey, I was telling the guys before the show, it's time to run it back. Let's go. It's a new year. We're gonna be in the big board here in like 3 weeks, like 4 weeks. It's not very long. Like we got to start getting ready. We got to start breaking into some rookies, some player takes for next year, or some old heads that might retire, some old heads that might go to worse places that there are at now. Aaron Rodgers. Got a lot to get into, but before we do, we are going to get into some best ball playoff conversation. That's what we're bringing you here tonight. We're going to be talking about how to take down the Mitten 2. That's a $5 buy-in, by the way. We're not going all in with the $25 playoff structure. We got some things up in the air still. I know Jake's been in the streets a little bit early. Andrew's been, dabbling. I've got a few in already. We're excited. Before we get into any actual drafts, player takes, how the board is looking, we do want to go into what we think the final layout for the playoffs is going to be. So I don't know if either of you want to start it off, but we have the top teams in. We're waiting for the last 2 teams. So I believe it's the Bucks and the Falcons out of the NFC. And then out of the AFC, you've got, Dolphins, Bengals, and...
Yeah, so it's let's see here. So AFC scenarios, Baltimore can clinch the AFC North title and number 3 seed with Baltimore win or tie, or Pittsburgh loss or tie. Pittsburgh obviously gets in with Pittsburgh win and Baltimore loss. Denver can clinch a playoff berth with Denver win or tie, Miami loss or tie, plus Cincinnati loss or tie. Miami can clinch a playoff berth with Miami win plus Denver loss. Cincinnati can get in with Cincinnati win, Denver loss, Miami loss. So definitely, some things up in the air, mostly seeding up here. A little bit of, if anybody can sneak their way in at the bottom. It would be really interesting if Cincinnati can get in, just because they'd be super fun to watch, but they definitely need some help. So, it looks like at the top here, again, all these teams settled in. This team settled in, just maybe able to sit in the third here. And then
different matchups, if that's the case. We know that the top 2 teams are lock stock. We could see a shift, I suppose, from even Baltimore. They're gonna stay put.
Well, no, Baltimore. If Baltimore loses and Pittsburgh wins, Pittsburgh moves to the 3 seed.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
So the seeding here and here is what's up in the air. Los Angeles and Denver are the ones that are currently sitting on a bubble, not knowing if they. I mean, Denver controls their own destiny by a win, and Miami. If
Chargers are in, right?
Chargers are in.
Yes.
Yeah, Chargers are in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that last spot.
There's only one spot available, correct?
Correct. For the NFC side, it looks like Detroit's probably going to get the number 1 seed, but that's technically up in the air. But Philly,
no, they have to beat the Vikings.
Yes,
they play the Vikings, so it's very, very much up in the air.
Are you telling me that Detroit's probably beating the Vikings? Because that's for the 1 seed.
I'm saying for the NFL purposes, I think the NFL wants Detroit to have the 1 seed. Just going to put that out there. So I think they get it. I'm betting, sneak peek for tomorrow night. Give me the Vikings +3. I'm taking the Vikings. I do think the Vikings can win, but I think the NFL is going to push to have the Lions stay at the top.
Are they going to bring in some like new defensive players, like some more guys off the street? I know Jamal Adams.
I'm just saying, we all know how the referees play.
As he got there.
Yeah, so technically is up in the air between them.
Wouldn't the NFL also want the Bengals in?
Yes,
they've seen Jamar Chase play a few times.
If you're a Bengals fan, you are a Carson Wentz fan this weekend.
That's what I was going to ask you, because you jumped over to the NFC. I want what's going to happen. Tell me what you think is going to happen in the AFC, and then we'll do NFC.
So in the AFC, I think that, again, we'll go down here to the scenarios. I think because Denver plays
Kansas City.
That's right. Yeah. So can Carson Wentz beat him? Sure. Is Carson Wentz going to piss down his leg in this game? Maybe.
I don't know.
Seen it.
I've seen some photos of Carson Wentz going hunting again on Instagram. He's been welcomed back since killing endangered bears and stuff. Carson Wentz was shadow banned from he was canceled pretty much for shooting a bear that was endangered and then posting it on social media. Now he's back in the good graces. I think he's going duck hunting with the boys, him and Samaje Perine, going shooting some rifles, getting in some some duck bunkers, whatever the fuck you call them. So
do we know
there's a vibe in that room?
Duck blinds.
Do we know?
It looks like a big space, like a big space. I don't know. I don't duck hunt. I don't know.
I used to hunt. It was only for MILFs, but that's it. Me and Zach Wilson, just like this. Anyway, Tyler in the chat says, "What's good, big dogs?" So here's the question: do we know, is Kansas City sitting other players besides Mahomes?
Kelsey.
Okay.
I do think
any defensive players?
I do think that they're playing some of their offense. Like I saw DeAndre Hopkins is playing. I don't know about Worthy.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the receivers, they're so deep. Like Hollywood Brown is getting 19 snaps and he got 7 targets.
Yeah.
So if Kansas City wins, that is good for the Bengals and for Miami. If that happens, do we think Miami beats the Jets?
They should. The Dolphins beat bad teams. The Jets are a bad team.
I don't think Tua is playing, and Miami's been a dumpster fire.
I was gonna say
Tyler Huntley was capable. He's got a lot of positive chatter.
Yeah, he's fine, but
he's not.
I think
he's awful, but if you can get,
he's
get a win, you get a win.
He's better than DTR. That's for fuck sure. I do think the Jets beat Miami. I'll put that out there right now.
Tyler says Ty God's playing. Is that true? That would be new to me. It makes sense.
Okay.
It makes sense. I mean, Aaron, I don't want to get himself hurt, but I thought I saw something about it's, Aaron Rodgers potentially his last game. If it's potentially his last game, I don't think he would sit, right? But I don't know.
I didn't see anything on him sitting. I did see that it could be his last game, but I didn't see anything about sitting. But here's the thing, though. Cincinnati has to win too, and Pittsburgh's fighting for a 3 seed.
Whoa.
So, the way that those two teams have been playing, I have to lean in favor of the Bengals this week.
I agree. But it's definitely not a gimme.
Yeah. Now, here's the bad thing for the Bengals is that the Steelers are playing 100%. They want to win just in case Baltimore loses, which I don't think Baltimore loses, by the way.
But their offense has been sick. I mean, the Bengals, hey, if you get a matchup for your offense to get right before the playoffs, Bengals probably a good spot, no? But the Bengals are also coming 100. I would be interested to know any updates on the running back situation there.
I saw Chase Brown as a game-time decision.
Yeah, I hope he plays because I already took his under.
It's a big problem.
Yeah.
Just how good that he has been, and now him potentially being gone and having little to no backup. Like, what are they going to do? They're going to go sign Zeke?
No, Khalil Herbert's going to run for 100 yards.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Just expecting.
So as we sit here today, does anybody think Cincinnati makes it?
Well, for the few teams where I did draft Jamar Chase with my 9th or 10th pick, I hope so, just to get a game. That would be good. That'd be dope. I realistically think, if you're playing the odds, you're looking at Denver with the best percentage to advance forward here. All they have to do is beat a team that is not interested in winning, that has a good defense, but may not play their defense the entire game. And when they were at full strength, they took them to service. They took them to the brink of losing. So I got to go Denver in that game. And as long as they win, they move on. I think it's a good spot for him. I just don't see why the Chiefs would put up a massive effort. Where's the game? Is it in Denver?
Yes. It is. Yes.
Denver still got a top 5 defense. You got a quarterback in Wentz just, getting flung in there. You're really, if you're going to bet for the Chiefs to win, it's on the back of Andy Reid is going to, put Sean Payton over his knee, Give him a little talking to. That's about it. I mean, that's the only way I could play that in favor of the Chiefs some way, somehow.
Yes. So I don't know. It all depends. I think we should still draft it like Denver probably wins, but I will tell you this. If you don't want to do that, I would not take Miami and I would take the Bengals if you're going to start drafting people.
What's an interesting pick from Denver, though? Like, are you really going after a running back?
I'm just saying, I'm not saying I want to. I'm just saying if you want to, you should be drafting it as probably Denver wins. And if not, then don't go to Miami. I would probably go to the Bengals.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would probably draft them in favor of that order. Most likely Denver, Bengals, and Dolphins, because even if the Dolphins make it, what is left?
Exactly. Right. Like, yeah,
they only beat bad teams. The playoffs has only good teams. It's a bad narrative.
Mike brings up a good point, though. Why? And this is mind-boggling to me that they're playing 2 games on Saturday. If the Steelers win on Saturday, it makes Sunday so anticlimactic. Like, I'm really disappointed in the schedule.
I am as well, just because we had this just crazy ass schedule last week, and then I wake up on today and I go, "There's no game tonight. There's not even a game today. I had a game last Wednesday. I don't have a game." You know what they've done to my internal clock for football scheduling? I'm completely.
I don't get it. I don't get it. You'd think you want to make Sunday like very entertaining,
or even Monday. Even if you try to set them up for like a Sunday Monday type of situation.
Yeah, but with the playoffs next week, they don't want anyone playing Monday and have a short week.
So we don't even have a Monday game. What the hell is going on here, man?
No, I mean, of course not. So anyway, that's the AFC side. Anything else left on the AFC you guys want to say before we hit the NFC quick?
No, it sounds like, Jake, do you have anything to add on other than we think it's literally going to go either in that order? Denver.
No, I think we covered it pretty well. The only thing I would add is if we're talking about the playoff best ball format is like, I would say if you want to take some flyers on the Bengals offense, then it's definitely, I think, a good strategy, but I wouldn't go super heavy on that because your team's dead. Basically.
At most, you want to take 3 players from the Bengals, right? Like your last 3 picks could probably be Burrow, Higgins, and Brown or something.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know if I'd even do 3 because honestly, if they don't, you almost want to give your Chase with the last pick might not completely kill your team. If you take 3 Bengals, you have 7 rostered guys in a 6-man format.
Well, if the Bengals get in, they play the Bills. What's your percentage on the Bengals beating the Bills?
Not good.
I wouldn't say
20%.
Yeah.
Something of that nature. So, I think it's worth a shot, especially if you're doing.
Oh, I agree. I agree. I think it's worth a shot. I don't know if that's like a.
I think Chase is a great sprinkle. Like right now, we have some uncertainty with Chase Brown. I think Burrow is the same thing. Like if you just want to get a quarterback for a week, because the expectation is they don't move past round 1. All of these teams have some juice, especially whoever they play is going to have a reliable defense. They can go on the attack offensively, but their offensive line is just leaving them stranded, specifically Joe Burrow. And that continues to put them behind the 8 ball. If you don't have Chase Brown in that situation, you're completely screwed because he's really been the fixer-upper for the offensive line. Well, they're bad, cool. Go run that way. I'm going to get you the ball. And he's just been a PPR machine. So without him, you're dead in the water.
you're highlighting probably more than just one team with their situation as well. Like
Sure.
the Bengals have to play a damn near perfect game on offense to have a shot at winning any game they play. And I think Detroit's kind of in a similar situation, which we'll get to. But
right. Yeah, let's move over to the NFC then. So over here, we're looking at Bucks or Falcons. I believe that's simply it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So if we scroll down, Tampa Bay can clinch NFC South division title with Tampa Bay win or tie, Atlanta loss or tie. Minnesota, obviously, if they win, they get the number 1 seed. If they lose, they stick where they are at right now, which is the 5 seed? Yeah, 5 seed. And then Atlanta obviously can get in with Atlanta win, Tampa Bay loss. So everybody else is already in.
Before we make the pick between Tampa and Falcons, because I think knowing what I know about you two, I think we're all going to agree. What do we think about the strategy of attacking Vikings versus Lions for stacking ability when we don't know who's getting the bye? Because the way I've been doing it, and it's just my belief, is like I think the NFC is more open, so I'm gonna do more differentiated stacks with the NFC where I have like my locks, what I feel like are locks for the AFC, and I'm gonna sprinkle those locks with the differentiation from the NFC. How are you guys handling that, the Lions versus the Vikings? Because you have some cost difference between the two players, like ADP, like they have like a little bit of a different market, but from what I've seen, they all seem pretty fairly priced.
Yeah, you're going to see a huge shift, I think, because like early on, I've done quite a few. Like people wanted Detroit, but weren't super heavy on Detroit because everyone assumed they were going to have the first seed in a bye. So I'm really curious to see how these rooms shape up. I haven't done one the last 2 days or so, but I think a lot of teams are going to be screwed if Minnesota gets in as the 1 seed, because I saw a lot of heavy Minnesota stacks early. Probably people assuming that they weren't going to get the 1 seed. So you got to be careful, but it's going to be interesting because then you're going to have teams that were heavy Detroit that are going to be really good now. If they
I did both. That's the thing. Like I have my Lions builds with some AFC differentiation, and then I have the Vikings, same thing. You know,
I think Vikings winning this weekend is the best scenario for everyone, because then if you went heavy Detroit, you're fine, you're good. And honestly, if you went heavy Minnesota and they win, Minnesota, you were getting towards the middle to late, for a majority of the drafting spot anyway. So you already have players up top that you chose. Now, with that said, it's like, if you went like heavy KC and heavy Minnesota, then you're fucked, right? Because
then you're in trouble. Yeah.
But outside of that scenario, you're kind of fine at that point.
Yeah,
but that's what a lot of people are doing is they are attacking like that Goff and Mahomes early picks, so that they can just these teams are deep, right? The Chiefs, look at all these receivers. The Lions, you got mystery running backs. You have like just random factors that you can throw in there. Some Tim Patricks, whatever. Freaking look how far Juju Smith-Schuster is down, and he still has a role. So I think I've seen a lot of that, at least in the few drafts that I've done. So those teams, yes, go running to the Lions in that situation would be screwed, or vice versa if they have the Chiefs in there. And that brings me to my issue, is because I do think like it's the Chiefs or the Bills out of the AFC. Like I have some deep state psyop takes as well, but we'll wait a little bit for that until they maybe come up in the draft. But I think that those two teams it's either one of them to come out of the AFC. I just don't see any other teams able to keep up at an all-around effort, offense and defensively.
Yeah. So as far as the playoffs, go, obviously we know Detroit, Minnesota, all these teams already in. Obviously we only have Atlanta and Tampa kind of fighting it out, but I still think Tampa wins. I mean, I don't know. Life's on the line, back against the wall. I think they're going to come out firing, and I think that they win. So I think we're pretty much set with what we have in the NFC. Does anyone else feel differently?
No. I mean, I think the 7 are, as long as the Bucks don't have a complete meltdown, I think the 7's pretty situated. It's going to be fun drafting as we get into these later, because like I was going to ask both of you, if you had to pick a sleeper team from each division, who would you take your shot on?
From each conference?
Yeah, from each conference, yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you the Chargers out of the AFC as a sleeper.
So if we're going AFC for me, See, and here's the problem. Like, I don't really like anybody but the Chiefs, the Bills, or the Ravens. I think that they have it all locked. It's one of those three.
I don't think the Ravens have the defense for the playoffs. I don't think that they can keep up. They can stop the run, but
then you don't like the Lions.
No, I don't like the Lions to necessarily. I mean, the Lions have a tough road. The NFC, like I said, is not as easy as it has been. The Lions have another 14-2 team right now in their same division. And my sleeper pick from the NFC would be the Packers. They're well coached. They're very disciplined. Although I will say the last 2 weeks, they've been very flaggish. They've been very flag oriented, but the Packers can slow you down on defense. They have the play calling. They have the deception of the receivers. They have Josh Jacobs. Like, I think they're a good sleeper pick. I would throw your Commandos in there too.
I mean, sure. I mean, I think the Commanders have a decent draw with the Rams if that's how it plays out. I mean, now again, Commanders need to win to stay here. If they lose, they'll move back to the 7th spot if Green Bay wins. So that's not set. I do think the Commanders though win this time against the Cowboys. Last time was a little fluky, so I do think this is set as it's going to be. But I mean, my sleeper pick here. I mean, I'm not going to go homerism. I hope that they do well, but I'm a realist. I mean, they're a young team. I like the Bucs a whole lot. The Bucs can fucking stay with anybody. The Bucs are great.
No, I agree. I was going to say the Bucs too. And honestly, if the Lions lose, I think I really like their matchup against Detroit. I might eat my own words here, but I took a lot of Detroit early, but I might honestly get off of Detroit a little bit just because I like the Bengals, like Bruni brought up. They have to play. We saw it on Monday night against the Niners. They have to play a perfect game on offense to be good. And in playoff situations, it's tough. I mean, you're going to run into a lot better defenses, and you're not going to be able to score 40-plus points a game to win games.
And the other big issue with the Lions is the luck runs out. Like the going for it on 4th and forever again and again and again. That's exactly what happened last year. They were constantly one play away. And realistically, you don't want to be a team that has to rely on 4th down succession. That's not what you want in the playoffs. You want reliable play calling. You want to hit on your design splash plays, right? You want to open up each half or each game with a great script. Like, to me, that's what's going to get it done. I think Detroit can do that, but we've seen them stall at times. The defense is completely beaten down. Injuries, pulling guys off the street, sending guys back to the street. Jamal Adams. I mean, don't get me wrong. They've got the dog mentality. They've got the unagi going on upstairs, but I don't know. I would be scared to place any type of future for them to make the Super Bowl or even win. You look at the season that they just played and you're like, wow, that's crazy. But I think with the talent in the NFC, it's not as easy as it looks.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's also going to be crazy to see a 14-3 team as a 5 seed.
Yeah, exactly.
Can this happen? Who Hamas? He says Rams sitting everyone. If Bucks win, I believe they can get to 3 seed. And Meg also said that she thinks the Bucks can get to 3 seed. Does anybody know that? Point. It doesn't say
they
that
would be 10.
Here.
So scroll up.
They both have the same record. That's a good point. I wasn't aware of the tiebreaker there. They might have the tiebreaker with the Rams, which then
it doesn't.
Who do the Rams play this week?
The Rams play the Seahawks.
Okay.
So I don't know what that is. It doesn't specify down here in the tiebreakers or scenarios. So I honestly do not know.
Are the Rams confirmed resting? Because I mean, that point, if you're going for a higher seed, I would assume they probably wouldn't rest unless they don't care about 3-4.
I thought they were resting.
Which makes me curious to see why they would be, unless they really don't care about 3-4. You're still going to get a home game, but it still gives you a leg up in a home game if an underdog wins. So I don't really understand that theory. But.
Yes, Rams confirm rested. I did see, obviously, the Seahawks went from -3 to -6.5, so I assumed that meant rest for sure.
Huh. So I'd be interested to see if it actually is a tie. I guess if they can pass them, then that's interesting that they would just kind of forfeit the 3 seed in that case.
We don't care.
Yeah.
Andrew,
I would say for you though, I would much rather play the Rams than the Bucs.
1,000%.
Yes, it would be if the Bucs would play Washington. That would be a rematch of Week 1. Washington might be able to take it out this time, but yeah, I mean, honestly, like it is what it is. Whoever we got to play, right? There's no.
Sure.
I hate when people go in and like,
playoffs.
oh, I want to play this team because it's the playoffs.
I
any
agree.
given Sunday, right?
Yep. And honestly,
so
that 3-4 there, unless you're really into matchups and offense and over-unders, that's not going to really adjust your drafting style between like the seeding itself. So,
yep.
I don't think it's that big of a deal.
All right. So I think we went over that. Let's head on over to Underdog and talk a little bit about that. Let me stop sharing my screen so I can pull that other one up here.
I mean, honestly, I'm good to just dive into some drafts because it's.
Well,
really
I do want to talk a little bit about it. What the hell?
Uh-oh. What did you do?
Mobile web coming soon.
What did you do? Clear the cache,
fuck?
Andrew. Jesus, clear the cache, Andrew.
What? What the fuck? That's
Maybe
so weird. I
try
literally
widening the
was just
window.
on it.
It might be the window thing. Make the window bigger.
There we go.
You're welcome.
So weird. All right. So for this here, let's go over to the Mitten because that is what we will be drafting tonight. The Mitten, what is it now? 2?
Right? Mitten 2, correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So you got 112,500 people, $5 entry. I hate that you can't see this, but obviously, 50. Yeah, you got to start. There's 10 spots. Obviously, you got to start quarterback, got to start a running back, and then you start 2 of the running back, tight end combos, and then a flex as well.
Receiver, tight end, yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, with all this said, a strategy that I've been doing is obviously I think the AFC has a nicer path at the top for their teams to advance. So if I'm taking an onslaught of Buffalo, I like to backstack it with the NFC playoff teams because I do think that those games put up more points. We're probably going to see more fantasy points put up. So that's how I've been taking, a look at the AFC side. If I'm going onslaught on AFC, are you guys doing it any differently for drafting AFC onslaught? Are you AFC to AFC? Are you AFC drafting NFC at the end? Like, how are you playing the AFC side?
People bully me too much to even have those type of options. Like, I just like, oh, I'm going to try to do something cool. And then like, nope. End of that discussion.
Well, I guess what I mean is like, so if I take a bunch of Buffalo, like at the end, there's enough Rams and or Bucks and or Washington and or Green Bay to take that you can fill in the rest of your roster and not have to worry about the Buffalo side.
Are you talking about like picks like 7 and 8 or like 9?
Like, let's say I go 5 Buffalo straight out of the gate. If I get Allen and take Cook or whoever, Cooper or whatever, though obviously, they're playing, but then at the end, I'm going with an onslaught of like the NFC because I'm already rooting for the Bills to go to the Super Bowl, drafting that way. I'm trying to get one of those NFC teams to also meet them there in the Super Bowl.
That is how you want to play the playoff best ball machine. Yes, that's how you want to play these slots.
Well, unfortunately, you have, and I've seen it a lot, and Jake has seen it too. Like in these drafts, you got guys who pick like a 1 player from the Rams, 1 player from the Bucks, 1 player. Like, you don't want to do that. You want to focus on like getting 2 from the Bucks and 2 from the Rams or something of that nature, where you're not really doing that other way. They're paying the rake half the time.
Thank you for the rake. Those were the next words out of my mouth, Andrew. Thank you. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
That is not the approach that you want to go with. You want to build your outcome. This is not regular season best ball where you want to build for all sorts of different outcomes. You want to build for direct outcomes with playoff best ball. So yeah, you should be drafting mittens and not gauntlets, unless you got that heavy bankroll like Jake does from BBMB. Even Jake's not even going to the gauntlet. And he's a rich in these streets. He's like
best ball rich.
Like Dave Chappelle when he's like trying to pull in all of his money.
Yeah. It's been a good year. Not Steve's level though. Steve
dog.
Steve said, "Oh, you made like 15 grand on Underdog this year. Catch my 15 grand.
Catch me outside." Yeah. Fanspeak. Very, very nice end to the old best ball season there.
And Meg too. I can't forget her. I mean, 10 grand. That's not slight either. So I mean, that's just
we're animals this year.
Great way to go. But I agree with both of you. I think there's a strategy with me personally. I like taking a quarterback and then stacking with 2 or 3 guys. Some teams are tougher to do that with. And then I really like, whether it's AFC or NFC, getting someone on the opposite conference that you think is going to also match up in the Super Bowl. So obviously the end goal, as both of you know, is to fill a full roster with 6 guys. So yes, the strategy with taking players from every different team is not going to win. But I do think like it's tough in this format because if you don't get Buffalo, if you don't have a top 3 pick, top 4 pick, then you don't get a quarterback right away. And you don't
get the juicy QB right away. Because like we said, we have some sleeper guys And even Sam Darnold, Jared Goff.
Yes.
Fair price.
Correct. But can you take one of those two naked? Because
no, but you have their position players ahead of them that you should at least be able to get a combo or two.
Before we get into that was going to be my next topic for us to discuss is how are you handling quarterbacks? Are you doing the one strategy or just taking like Jared Goff and no other people, or are you taking
yes
two?
And no. Yes and no. It very much depends on the flow of the draft. In my circumstance so far, people have just been thirsty for blood, just playing to kill. All right. Yeah. So it hasn't been very easy. I did do one with a Vikings in Kansas City stack, so hoping that the Vikings lose this week. But I was able to get Mahomes, Kelsey. I was able to get Darnold and Jefferson. And who else did I build out Hawkinson in that? I threw in Worthy and Hopkins and both KC running backs, and I flipped in like Jalen Warren and Jamar Chase. Pretty fair.
Yeah. I like that strategy.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, the only issue with that is that if Minnesota gets the one seed,
I'm poo-pooed.
You're poop. Or say they don't, you really need Minnesota to smash because So again, though, but that's the ultimate strategy. If you guess right on both of those and can get through the first round, you're sitting.
And that's just what you need to do. You need to do the volume of the drafts, differentiate in your drafts. But like we're saying, guys, you can't just go in there and just be like, Barkley and Amon-Ra, dope, gimme. No, that's not going to work. You have to take your flag and plant it. You can't just be running around everywhere.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to bring up about the quarterback is like, either take the one of the juicy ones and then ride out with one quarterback, or try to take, maybe you get an Allen and a Darnold, like you said, or an Allen and a Stafford, or whatever the case may be. I mean, you really got to sit down and kind of look at the playoffs, think about who you're going to, who's going to win week one, who's going to win, the second round, and then go from there. So, I mean, you really kind of want to go in with some sort of plan. Yeah. The other side of this that I do want to talk about as well, quarterback's very important, but it's at the end of the draft. I see a lot of people who have an onslaught of two teams, and then at the end, they take one-offs from other teams. I understand that you're trying to make it through round one and round two to make it to the Super Bowl, and I get that. Here's the problem, though. If you make it to the Super Bowl, you're going to draw dead with already 2 or 3 roster spots that you wasted taking one-offs from other teams. Unlike best ball, where everyone thinks week 17, you have to optimize for week 17, right? Which is good. We always talk about that, how you think it's a DFS slate. But we've seen time and time again, that has not worked. Really, has truly not worked. So in this contest, I do think that that's what you want to do is optimize for the last round. Because if you get there, that's where all the money is. You're going to make diddly squat advancing round one and advancing round two. So there's no point. I'd rather take Ray Davis if I have a ton of Buffalo Bills than take Jalen Warren a one-off, because if they win round one, that's great. Maybe you got 8 points from Warren.
What about Jamar?
Same thing though. Like unless the Bengals win and go to the, unless they win 3 games, it's not going to pan out. It really won't. Because it's a dead roster spot.
I'm checking every time you try to draft Chase tonight. I know you're going to try to do it.
No, if I draft Chase, you'll see me already have Burrow, or I'm drafting Chase, Brown, and Higgins, or something of that nature. I'm not just taking one.
I think you have the right point. I would kind of throw a little kickback to that, though, because sure, you can optimize with guys that probably will play. Let's say Ray Davis gets 10 snaps in the Super Bowl, but are you drafting to advance? Are you drafting because like that team's not going to advance if
Yeah, and you're right. I'm drafting to win it. I'm not drafting to advance. I think it's different between season-long playoff or season-long best ball and now the playoff best ball, because playoff best ball, it's all at the top. If you make it there, you're going to get some money. I want to get there and win the money. I don't want to barely get there and have 2 players.
Sure. Let me reword that. Obviously, we're all drafting to win. I'm not just drafting to advance, but I think there's really good teams if you optimize too much that you won't get through the first round. So I do think that in the one-off situations that you could get like Bucky Irving or, someone that's going to guaranteed first round to get you through the first round.
I think 8 really good players from the 2 teams making the Super Bowl can win you the whole thing.
Yeah, sure. No. And I agree, but you only need 6 technically to have a full team, right? So what I'm saying is, like, at the end of drafts, let's say Bucky Irving's sitting there and you have Bills and you have Lions teams or whatever, right? And you're like, I'm going to take Bucky. Then go take Mike Evans or take Jalen McMillan or something that makes sense with Bucky, that if the Bucks win and they're moving on, you already have a correlated numerous players from that team. Don't take Bucky, don't take Jalen Warren, and then take fucking a Jordan Addison. That makes no sense because
the splitting the last three is I agree with you. That would be bad. I like 2 little first round sprinkles that might have some high upside, like a Jamar Chase who scored 16 touchdowns this year. Psycho.
Yeah. No, I agree with that, but that was a complete different point. So yes, to that point, I agree with. If you're going to fill in guys at the end, take them from the same team. Doesn't really make sense to do 3 different teams.
Right. And unfortunately,
Manuel Wilson, baby, let's go.
When you're drafting, though, and I've seen it multiple times now, people do that. They're drafting players from every single team, and I'm like, what do you like? How is that? Sure, you might advance, you might get to the Super Bowl. You know what's going to happen? You're going to get onslaughted. Like there's no reason to do it.
It's a very unique format because you get guys like that are basically paying to rake for you, and then it's one less guy you got to beat. Now he might advance, but he's not going to win. So, and it's a very interesting point. But so I would say, kind of to spin this before we get into drafts, I've been kind of going, if I don't get the top 3 pick, if I get the top 3 pick, I'm going 1 quarterback, Josh Allen, Lamar, or Jalen Hurts, because honestly, I think any of those teams, maybe not the Ravens, but I'm just going to take my shot and then stack a bunch with them, pick another team from the opposite conference and go with it.
Jake says it's not hard to pick Josh Allen, and he'll pick his favorite quarterback in Jalen Hurts. Right.
I actually have like 1 or 2 drafts I took quarterback.
Interesting.
I did
that. I think that was the draft I did Mahomes and Darnold.
But it's fun. I mean, it's definitely different. But it's definitely, I think, the unfortunate part about these is I feel like you have to do volume because it's not like regular best ball where you could get like, I know 18 teams in BBM finals got in with 1 entry. So it's kind of tough to do these drafts if you're not doing quite a few of them because you have to have a bunch of different strategies for ROI standpoint.
Yeah. The other just really quick thing before we get in some drafts and talk through these here is how do you guys think about when you're in a draft, right? And you're going through and you're getting towards the end, and let's say you do get fucked, as Bruni is saying here, where he's getting sniped all over the place, right? And he has to kind of take a one-off from a team, and he's taking like Jamar, right? It's a good way to look at it. Is Bruni's probably taking the player that's going to score the most. Besides the quarterback, Burrow might score the most, but he's taking the player from that team that's probably going to score the most. Don't go take a one-off of a player that's going to score like the 5th most on the team because you're really not helping yourself. You're getting a low score from an end player that's probably not going to move on. If you're going to do that, at least try to take the absolute best player you can from that team. That way you're at least optimizing your total score for round 1. And, and then if that player is not there, it doesn't really matter at that point. But don't go take a player that doesn't really make sense that's going to score, the 5th or 6th most points on their team because that's not really going to help you anyway.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. I think both strategies work. Either build out a team with all the same team or pick some one-offs at the end from the same teams. I think both are great strategies. And that seems to be like, you listen or you watch people that do these a lot and they have very similar takes on this. So, I mean, the problem is, I don't know if I want to draft with the 2 of you.
Why? We actually know to stay in our lanes. If you're drafting, you know what I mean? Like it kind
of bully. That's true. And it's an interesting point you said that because I did see a couple like the big shots that draft a lot of these say the same thing. They'd rather draft with guys that know what they're doing because those people that are doing one player
similar mindsets. And you're gonna like I have been in some friendly ones where it's like, okay, no, I've committed to this stack. No one else is. Like, okay, cool, sweet. They surrendered. Awesome.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, let's get into it again. The Mitten 2 for anybody that wants to draft with us. I'll give you a minute here. Of course, I'm going to.
This should be fun trying to get in the same rooms because
I was going to say we may need to.
I don't think they fill up as quick as Royales, at least in my experience.
I don't know. Everyone got that money now. It's been paid out today.
Today, the Mitten percentage is going up a big time because of all the money being paid out.
Right.
Underdog ain't dumb. They know. They're like, all right, everyone has the money. It's time.
I think last year I got on the app right around this time last year, and I'm almost positive I had a Mitten 4. So I think you'll see some volume here soon.
Yeah, they won't put out any more gauntlets, but they'll continue on with the mittens for sure until game time essentially. All right. So I'm going to peek my head in here on my phone and see what we look like here. So again, I'm drafting in 3, 2, 1, heading in. We have one more draft starting soon. Holy shit. Okay.
I'm out.
Okay. Jake, did you get in?
I believe so.
Okay. Well, let's see. If not, then everyone can we'll just draft on mine.
I'm in with you. And
all right. Well, then Bruni,
thanks for bringing me good luck, because out of like 57 drafts I've done so far, I think I literally had one pick maybe 2 or 3 times. So
there you go.
All right. Well, Bruni, we're on the end here, big dog. So let's work through these. And again, Mike, Rob, don't get all beside yourself. We will be doing more. So relax, Tonto.
I've got plenty in the account for this.
These will be tough.
But again, like
else in here?
So no, I don't think so. NF42 though, I do know who that is.
I know NF,
yeah. So he's smart. He'll probably stay in his lane. I don't know about these other guys though.
Also, Andrew, I don't know how hard it is to switch screens quickly, but I would not be opposed to doing 2 at a time if it's interest of you two.
It'll be hard for the stream just
me
because
and him are drafting the same team.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it'll be hard to go back and forth with the stream.
No worries.
But yes, generally I'm like 3 deep at a time.
He is a sicko, yeah. That is something that I will not be doing this year for my BBM 6s.
Drafting. I'll tell you what, if you want to have a wild experience, I did 5 Badge Bros brawls, and those go really quick.
At the same time,
that's not recommended. 3 is probably a good one, but I did 5, and it was like my finger hurt. I was like, oh shit, I got to go back. Too much.
I think you also did, because I was talking to you. I did 2, and it was chaos. Remember when they brought the 10-second drafts out for like the Chihuahua 4 and like I think you had done like 4 at a time, and you said it was like
it was way too much. I missed picks because it was just
didn't an entirely new app pop up, Fast Draft, because of that. Like someone was like, "Wow, that's cool. I'll do a whole. I'm gonna create an entire app for just
Bruni,
that."
How do you want to play this? 4 quarterbacks already out, so you want to go like Detroit?
Like I would
say Minnesota or Detroit. So it's either Jefferson or Amon-Ra here.
Or we could take Barkley Brown.
Who are we going to get out of the AFC at this point? At quarterback. It's pretty glim.
I mean,
I would say to go to one of those receivers, Amon-Ra or JJ, and I'm probably feeling JJ.
All right, so if we do the Minnesota side of that, that's fine. But then what do we do now? Do we take Barkley?
We could do Henry if you feel confident enough about the Ravens, but that's the top AFC value here if you want to go across.
I was gonna ask you that. Would you be opposed to doing Henry Barkley?
I would be opposed. I wouldn't be opposed to it if you want to do that start, but again, you're screwed at quarterback. You have to lean into Herbert at that point. So I'm okay with either one. I would say Henry over Barkley, though.
I mean, you're right as far as the build. I would rather have Barkley, but you're right. I mean, if we're gonna do that, Baltimore,
we got to play by the book here.
Yeah.
We should be able to get Darnold.
There it goes. I was like, there ain't no way he ain't taking Barkley with having Mahomes.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I saw someone take AJ. Pick. Someone took AJ Brown from me when I was doing when I did a Saquon build, of course, and he paired him with Mahomes. Drove me crazy for about 4 minutes.
So if this dude doesn't take James Cook, I'll be very happy.
We need to fire up Darnold.
Let's go. Little Allen Cook.
We can't miss Sam.
That's why I said, I don't know if you heard me. I said Jake needed to survive 1 pick there to get Cook.
Yeah, that's a fun stack.
All right. So I mean, again, like we can onslaught this, Bruni. That's not a problem. But depending on who else is here, there could be like Jacobs, another Green Bay. So something like going maybe 2 NFC, 2 AFCs on this, because I don't know how much of all this we're gonna get.
We should be able to get a fair, we should be able to get Sam and at least Jordy, if not Sam and Aaron. First name basis, no big deal.
Samuel Darnold.
The Vikings are a vibe right now. They're fun to watch, and it's hard to say.
I think they're a really good team. I still am not trusting Sam Darnold in a playoff game.
Yeah.
All right, Bruni. Do you want to take a Baltimore and a Minnesota, or do you want to take Darnold and like Addison?
Kind of want to just go all in on Minnesota. I'm good with.
Do we take Baltimore? Is essentially what I'm asking.
Well, Darnold's the first pick or whatever, so just get him out of the way, and then.
Now, do we want Addison or do we want like Andrews?
I think Addison scores more points than Andrews. If they're going to run the gambit, if both teams are going to make it,
do we want Aaron Jones at all?
Yeah, it's fine. We only have one running back.
Yeah, you have a running back that's live right away, though. That's really nice.
I think Jordy's the pick. So
yeah, I like that's a really good stack.
Oh, we've seen them win folks all sorts of money in the BR. So,
and I know you guys are rooting for a Detroit win now.
Oh yeah, no,
yes. I do think Minnesota wins, so that's why I'm like,
Detroit beat them by 2 on the road. Now Detroit gets them at home. You're just playing for the division.
The thing is here, though, you guys could build a good enough team, even though Minnesota gets first seed. Like if you get this team through the first round without Minnesota, it's an extremely good team.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now we can definitely lean into some Ravens, though. We get some deeper options there. We're 7 picks away. 21.
So Jake, what are you working with? Allen, Cook, and Devonta.
Pull up Baltimore, because we could also sprinkle in Likely with a late pick. Justin Hill, Likely.
Do you really want Hill though? Like that's the thing. Like, is Hill really going to score that many points?
If Henry is not, then yes, Hill will. If you go and look at the splits, but when they're playing a team that can stop the run, there is so much more upside for Justice Hill, and that's all you run into in the playoffs. If the Ravens run into the Chiefs, and if they're going to beat the Chiefs, Justice Hill will play a role, guaranteed. Take it to the bank. Props, DFS, best ball, playoffs, whatever, he'll play a role.
Now, how do you feel about we could take a Rams back stack here? If we take Kyron, you can get Kupp and Stafford later on. I'm just trying to draw up.
I don't like the 3 because I think that we have options here, like you're saying, to get these guys within the stacks to take us all the way, because the Ravens are going to play the full booking of the playoffs. So I say we lean into that, and we take the shot at the Vikings playing through the playoffs as well, and then we have both of our potential Super Bowl teams playing the full booking.
I feel like if Bateman's there, you got to take him.
I like all of these. Bateman, Jones, if he falls, is an easy click.
That's
Jones
true.
Is a super easy.
Yeah, 100%. Fuck.
And there he goes. Fuck that. Dude.
See, like it's
Fuck that guy. But that's what's been happening to me. That's not your fault. It's mine. Not just
but
Bateman's a good pick.
Bateman, Hawkinson.
Yeah, those are great picks. Because again, this is what we're building out for. You want final destination narrative. This is it.
Yeah. So I will say too that guy that just took Aaron Jones, like I don't agree with that strategy, because that's
a terrible pick. Actually, I didn't see his team.
You're gonna have.
He has an awful team.
He has Detroit. He has an awful team. KC and Minnesota.
I hope he's auto drafting. That would be a much better excuse. Look at us in the all perps, though. Look at us dropping the all perps.
Yeah, purple, fucking purple people eaters over here. So what do you want to do? Like, are we just riding out Henry? Is there going to be another running back? Because like at the end, like we might be able to backstack it with like Washington or we can't with Green Bay now with a running back. Really,
who's Aaron Jones' backup right now? Ty Chandler, CJ Ham. What do we got?
Cam Akers.
Easy pick, easy click.
I would say though, like in your team, again, don't have to listen to me, but you guys draft, like you're drafting like you're correct. So
right.
I don't mind Kyron if you want to splash him in there.
I'm just saying, like, if we want to have, because eventually we're going to run out of these players, and then what do we do? So I'm trying to just set that up so that we're not.
I don't think anyone is drafting those guys. So if you want to take, I don't think anyone is going for Naylor, Likely, Hill, or Akers. I think they're all ours. So if you want to mix in some differentiated picks here, at what is this 7 and 8 coming up?
Yes.
Yeah, so at 7 and 8, if you want to raise our ceiling a little bit with our quote unquote off brand players, I'm good with Ladd. I'm good with Kyren.
I mean, do we want? So I'm just looking here. So it's Packers, Commanders, Rams, Bucks. Are probably the ones that we could backstack. Not so much Packers.
I want
the Bucks.
If we're going off the beaten path here, I want guys with high ceilings. So that to me speaks to Kyren and Ladd. Like if I'm looking at a point per game, I'm guessing that maybe Collins is dueling Ladd as well for a point per game.
Yeah, but I don't really want one-offs. I want teams. I want two.
I know, Andrew, Naylor, Likely, Hill, Akers. They are going to be there for picks 9 and 10 for us. They're going to be there.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. You just said you like Kyren and Ladd. That's two different teams. I don't want to do two different teams like that.
You want to keep them the same. Okay, that's right. Fine. Okay. So you want to keep those two.
So if we take Kyren, I then want to take Kupp and Stafford or Kupp and fucking,
let's do if Kyren's there, he's not.
Nope, here you go.
Okay. So what about Ladd and J.K. Dobbins?
Like Ladd and Dobbins, see, like that's what I'm talking about. Like that to me is fine.
So do that then with this next run. Guys that have roles, they're on the same team like you're wanting. That's fine.
If this guy doesn't bonus one more time,
yeah, fuck that dude.
Or like I said, like you could take, Terry, B, Rob, Jaden, whatever the case.
Mixon, Collins, I wouldn't hate, but I just don't think that happens. Oh, Collins is gone. Never mind.
Jesus Christ, dude, what the fuck?
All right, so just go back to the board. We can do. You want to do Jaden and Terry? No, that's too many NFC.
No, that's too many. Yeah, so do we do Dobbins and Quentin Johnston?
No.
Okay.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Okay, well then we only have 13 seconds. What do you want to do?
Can we pair someone with Mixon? Is there a?
I don't think Nico.
What about Hunt? What about Hunt and Hopkins?
Listen,
it's over.
We're gonna take Naylor. Relax.
Over.
It's okay.
It's over.
So if we do Dobbins,
you guys better hope Minnesota doesn't get the 1 seed.
Shut the fuck up.
Like I don't think it's a problem to take Dobbins. I know you hate Quentin Johnston.
I don't want. We just got Naylor, so what do you? I mean, we're gonna have to wait another pick here. Just take the pick. Take the pick.
Dobbins or Likely?
Dobbins. There's better back stacking. There's going to be someone available. We could take Palmer or Johnston with the next pick if we absolutely have to. You bastard.
I mean, what do you want to take? Herbert?
No.
Like I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. See,
this is where that bastard.
This is where you kind of just have to like go to that team and be like, all right, I'm now in on that team. It just is.
Ladd Dobbins would have been sick right there.
Yeah.
That dude sucks.
Is that guy in here?
That dude sucks on baby carrots. Fuck that dude.
Matty Gaines, don't be a little puss. Are you in?
I don't even want a black badge anymore. I kind of want to give it back just because that guy has one.
And then he took he doubled up on the same conference at running back, doubled up on the same conference in quarterback.
Again, bullies like these. I don't know what this is. Like they come in here and they do this crap, ruins our builds, and they just kill themselves. It's like, are these underdog employees? Like what is going on here?
We got a lot of Minnesota up in here, big dog.
Mike, don't rub it in, okay, pal? I want to get my fingers on the button too. I want to control my own destiny.
Likely went. So we have no more Baltimore receivers to be able to take.
So what do you think?
Devontae Walker, get the hell out of here.
Stop it.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, like, are we going to take Nelson Aguilar?
Yeah. Nelson Aguilar. That's Mac.
14 receptions.
Yeah. How many touchdowns?
2
for 14. Pretty solid percentage, pal. Pretty solid percentage.
Yeah. You're right. You know what? We'll add him to the board. Fuck it, right?
Duck it. Can we trade? Can we make trades? Does that work? How about Kenny Gainwell?
Yeah. Okay.
The Justice Hill of the NFC. Just kidding. Austin Eckler's coming back.
Bruni, you'll like my build as a Green Bay sleeper.
I love it, dude. You can put the whole offense on there, bro. They're all in the back. They're going. Like the Packers are in, and you can get them for nothing.
So the way I built my team is like I give myself 2 shots in the NFC. If the Buffalo Bills make the Super Bowl with either the Eagles or the Packers, I have a full roster.
Do you have the full Packers roster?
I have Love, Reed, Dobbs. and then Josh Allen with Keon Coleman and Kincaid and James Cook, and then I
Bruni.
built two Philly guys as well.
Bruni, we're on the clock. We have 2 picks, last 2 picks. So do we want to take Cam and Quentin? That's how you want to play it?
Yep. Jake, I'll tell you the Packers one that I did. Where is it?
All right. Hashtag go Lions.
See, I built.
If not, we are dead.
I built Love with 2 receivers, took 2 Philly guys, and then everyone else is Buffalo.
So I had Love, Jacobs, Reed, Dobbs, Kraft, Wicks.
Love it.
No, it's bad because I started this draft off with Gibbs and Amon-Ra, and people just dogged me. I got sniped. I got sniped on Goff. The guy did Goff JMO at the turn, drove me absolutely insane. And then I just had to pivot. So I have them and a couple of KC players. I just need the Packers to put up 35, 40 every game.
The nice thing is though, you protected yourself in a way that you could still have a full roster. It's just you got to rely on the Packers.
I got to rely on all in one team. And that's what I would suggest to other folks is if you get put into a corner, specifically if you picked AFC team players and then you have no quarterbacks, go build out the Chargers if you can. I was taking, Jake, I did that, and I had to take off, what do you call it? I had to bring Dobbins up the board. I had to bring Ladd up the board. It was ridiculous.
Bernie, I think I might go with your popular. I already have 2 Packers receivers. I could go third, or I could take my Jamar Chase shot.
I mean, Wicks or Jamar Chase. I mean, I don't think you're going after Watson right now.
I think I'm just going to take my Chase flyer.
No Kraft.
Andrew is so tilted now. He's
upset. We just got done saying
he didn't take 3 separate ones though. He took one.
I know, but he took one from.
Yeah, but my whole point is if the Bengals get in, that's such a smash guy to get me through week. And I already have 2 pass catchers with Jordan Love. I have 3 stacks with Josh Allen, and then I have 2 Philly guys.
I get it. It's just you have one from the Bengals.
He wants the Bengals you to have move on. Well, Jake,
you have one player.
He wants you to draft Johnny Wilson.
Yeah, I will do that, but I'm not doing that every time.
I'm not drafting Johnny Wilson.
You need to get through round 1.
Get out of here. Stop that. I'll give you Calcaterra. That's about it.
All right. Let's run her back.
Yeah,
did see Tyler in the chat, by the way.
Let me do the peeking. Let me do the peeking. At least just
okay. All right.
Get in for Christ.
Then you better be able to get your computer up.
No, okay, you do it. Never mind. I don't want to. It's too much responsibility.
All right. Jake, you ready?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1, entering. We have 4 more, 2 more, 1 more.
I'm in.
Draft starts soon. Goodness gracious.
We're good here.
Here we go. All right.
The trick is to do it when he says right at 1. There's a timing issue.
Oh man, we missed Mike Raub again.
Suck it, Mike. He thought he was going to come up in here and talk all this smack tonight. I haven't heard one little peep. I haven't heard one little bit of smoke. He must be on LSD and just be chasing this moving background that I put up here. What do you think about that moving background, Mike? What do you think about
Mike did say that seeing you both tilt is very entertaining.
He didn't have to bother. He didn't have to bring any smoke. He's just getting all the entertainment value tonight.
Okay, well, I'm at the fucking 6 again. Neat. This is just like best ball all over again. Just stick
Mike,
me at the back of draft.
You're getting an inside picture of Andrew at his house by himself on full tilt when a guy snipes him, and he's just in his basement, just screaming at his feet.
I just wish I could get a time portal in here to bring us to 2007. 1, Mike could see my MySpace page that he's so desperately seeking out, and 2, you could watch me literally tilt on the Full Tilt website. If we could have streamed in 2007 and I could have just streamed myself playing poker and losing my mind on a daily basis, I think I would be in a better place in life.
Tim D said, you guys ever play the original Halo on the internet, waiting in lobbies and trying to connect?
Yes.
I mean, I used to play a ton of Halo back in the day.
I didn't play a ton of it, but it was the thing that would happen at hockey tournaments. You go on the road with the boys and you got to play some Halo. I would also be trying to lead the brigade to have a poker game. Yeah, we'd have to have the LAN connectors. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Bring 4. You'd have to have two systems connected to each other. You could have 8 players online together. Sick. All right, let's see. What? Everyone just took Eagles, I think, from me. All the Eagles gone. Barkley. Oh, maybe I'll get Smith. Woohoo.
Oh, man. Henry Gibbs.
Dare take Smith.
Henry Gibbs combination be interesting.
If it were to happen, it won't. The Ravens have 2 star dud playoff players in Lamar and Derrick Henry. Ouch.
I'll take my shot.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, look at the season. I mean, my God. No, I mean, it's tough for me to get behind the Ravens. They're still lackluster on defense. They can stop the run like nobody's business, but that secondary still has huge issues. Tough to trust. You know, I kind of like the Commanders' defense a little bit more at this point. Call me nuts.
They're playing pretty well.
Nothing from Andrew. Just.
Hey, man, I'm just excited to be here. All right. I'm just excited to be in the dance. It's not every year I get to even remotely
settle down.
The playoffs.
Settle down. You know what this needs, actually, this app? We need an AFC and an NFC tab.
Yeah, well, at least they let us search by teams. If you're drafting on DK, there is no option to search by teams. You have to search by player.
By name. Interesting.
Yeah, so spread, where you at now? Huh? UD versus DK. Where you at?
Yeah, dog. Where you at, dog?
Mike Raub said in his he got 5 Baltimore, Jackson, Flowers, Andrews, Likely, and Hill. That's solid. And Minnesota, Jones, Addison, Hawk with Mixon and Collins to end.
He did your strategy at the end.
Yeah.
Also, nice little fall for Goff there. I'll take that.
Yeah, fuck you, guy. Come on, brother. What? Right here. Look at that.
I wasn't going to take him. I already had.
God dang it, Jake! You fucking cock. Oh. I didn't
I thought you were talking to me to get rid of him. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about?
No, I was watching him like, oh, please let him fall.
You can leave me JMO too.
You son of a bitch. Oh yeah, suck my ass now.
Whoa.
No, we going.
You're going to take Monra and JMO without their quarterback?
You would enjoy. Calm down.
Yeah, well, because if I have Mahomes, if that stack goes, you know what I mean? Like, that still makes sense.
Yeah, I know. I'm just messing.
You don't make sense.
I'll take Laporta if he doesn't get sniped.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, JMO, I think, scores more points, so it just makes sense to take it that way. You son of a bitch. Oh, I was watching. I'm like, oh, Goff's going to fall. He's going to fall. Talk about guys not knowing how to stay in their lane. Jeez.
Oh, you're not going to like me.
I have Laporta and Gibbs with Henry. It's a great lane.
Bruni, would you... Oh, this fucking guy. You taking my KC too. I'm in between 2 fucking sacks here, taking all my players.
I didn't do it on accident. I have Kelsey.
You're getting a Super Bowl rematch from 2 years ago. I like it.
AFC players. I don't make the rules. I'm just playing by them.
It's funny. This team, my team can just score 0 points week 1 or round 1 potentially.
Potentially.
Yeah. Build it. See what happens.
Also, Marinated Freak has an interesting team going on here. He went Allen Darnold, Cook, Jones, Amari.
That's good. That's solid.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the receivers, like you can get, Naylor and Addison for a pretty penny.
Yeah, my only argument is that you're scoring 2 receivers, and Amari Cooper is his scoring receiver. Like, that's tough to go 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs with your first 4 picks. Also,
correct.
Thank you very much, man. This draft room's great.
For you.
Yeah.
Pinned me and Andrew against each other.
It's my ultimate strategy. Pin you 2 against each other.
Smart. I used to do that when I sold appliances. I would always, I was in college. It was a lot of fun. But I would always stir the pot as I saw a customer coming around the corner. I'd say it's something like, I don't know, controversial about politics or religion or something. And it would cause a 3-5 second ruckus. And I'd be like, ding, customer. Thank you. Bye. They're all hot and bothered. Oh, fucking Bruni's talking all this shit. Stealing all the sales. Andrew wouldn't be able to handle that mental warfare.
Shit, son. I've done sales my entire life. Stop it.
You won't be able to handle that mental warfare. To be fair, and nothing really tilts Andrew that much. I could start talking about the deep state Democrats. Oh, he'd be rumbling.
Yeah, I laugh in the face of sheep.
Bah. Hey, if you think a politician's looking out for you, that's like, thinking a stripper is like going to fall in love with you.
Yep. Took Jake to his first one.
Atta boy.
Yeah.
Boy. Pop the old goose.
About what I expected.
Yeah. Awesome. I know.
Awesome. Hope it was a nice establishment. All right.
It was. It was a nice place.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
I hope it wasn't 12:30 in the afternoon.
No, we were in Atlantic City. It actually was more like 2 a.m. in Atlantic City.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It was a good one. It was.
You missed the buffet, sure.
It was one of the most wild ones I've ever been to. They allowed you to do some stuff there that we saw.
That might be New Jersey, because there was no rules in the casinos either. Like there were definitely people just walking in there that were not 21. So
nice. Good on them.
Good on them.
Young. Oh, to be young. Shmee.
Yeah, so like right now, excuse me. Oh my God, got a lot of KC and Detroit going on right here, but then I also snuck in Bucky Irving here with the hopes of again taking some Tampa Bay backstacks here.
Not having a running back for the rest of the contest, yeah.
I mean, potentially. I mean, Samaje Perine there. Relax.
I know. I have Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco. I know who's left. Andrew. Just don't.
Yeah, that's a tough one just because you're going to need the Bucs to win.
But he's got his 2. He's got his 2. He might even get 3.
I would love to see like the stats on these past contests in previous years. Like, is it optimal? Like, if you wait on quarterbacks, is it possible to actually? Like, I'm sure it is, but to advance teams with taking a 0 at quarterback?
No,
probably it can't be.
No, the quarterbacks can put up the most points consistently. Yeah. I don't like where your head's at there. You got to fix that.
No, I wasn't saying it's a possibility. That's like the importance of taking a quarterback very early.
Okay.
Do you guys ever think about only drafting AFC or only drafting NFCs at all?
I don't think that's a good idea.
I mean, if you're doing that though, you better pick like 5 and 5.
Yeah. I thought about it. I don't think it's an optimal strategy anyway, but it was just something I thought about. I'm like, I mean, you could really just hone in on one team and hope that that team scores all the points in the Super Bowl.
Little juju from Bruni. I like it.
Deep state psyop. Yeah, so the Eagles, I have Calcaterra, Smith, and Hurts. And then I have the Chiefs, Pacheco, Hunt, Kelsey, Brown, Smith, Schuster. And I think, wouldn't it be crazy if Carson Steele scored a touchdown in the playoffs? That rat bastard.
Also, like Pacheco. Oh, what a disappointment.
No, he's hurt. I mean, it is what it is. Hollywood came back. He's been pretty decent, actually, with the limited touches.
Yeah, he's been a little bit involved.
Well, whenever he's out there, he runs a route and gets targets. So, I mean, he hasn't been playing a ton, but when he's out there, they give him the work. So, I think you like to see that right before the playoffs. And that's what he came back for. And then I rounded it out with Gainwell, another Eagle.
Jake, just ultimate fuck me as well, taking Baker Mayfield from me. Like, again, thanks.
I took Bacon McMillan to protect myself from the Lions having a 1 seed because I had Goff. Sorry.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, so at that point, I'm like, well, there's no point in taking another one because I have no stack. So I'm just going to roll out with my homie and hope that the rest of my team can get me
through.
I mean, honestly, like if the Detroit and KC get the number 1 seeds, then this team's dead anyway. So
didn't we just talk about this though? You can't take a 0 from your quarterback.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have if you didn't take Baker. But I'd rather just have this team be dead than just take a random Matt Stafford.
Dead. It is dead. You're
taking
zero a quarterback. It is dead.
Maybe, but I mean, what if Bucky has a big week, or Amon-Ra and Jameson don't have a first round bye? This team is either it's dead or alive. I mean,
I'm not going in. I'm not taking one quarterback with a guy that potentially has a first round bye and is guaranteed.
He does have a first round bye.
Mahomes has a first round bye. That's why I said I was planning on just taking Baker, and then you took him. I'm like, well, fuck.
You got to sprinkle another playoff quarterback in there.
Nah,
I just
not doing it.
Thanks for paying the rake there, brother. Now we got to advance to 1 of 5.
Maybe. Actually, you get 2 of 6, so it's actually 2 of 5 at that point.
Is it 2 of 6?
Is it not 2 of 6? I'm pretty.
No. Yes, it is 2 of 6. 1 of 10.
Yes, 2 of 6. Yeah.
So now we're Bruni. It's 2 of 5, baby.
Hey, you never know. If the Detroit loses, that team's still alive.
The Detroit loses.
If the Detroit, that's right.
if the Detroit.
Detroit.
I had golf, but I'm not risking them being the one. Kid.
Sometimes you got to lay the nuts on the table. All right. Mike Raub, I'm going to give you a 10-second notice that we're going to be going in. Okay.
Put the laptop away, Mike. Put the laptop away.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5 more, 3 more, 2 more.
He should be in this one.
Yeah, he should be in this one.
I gave plenty of time there. Mike, did you leave the chat?
I think he did.
We do this all for Mike Raub, and he's not even getting in any of these.
Unreal. Hey, I got the first pick.
Oh, wow. I'm not at the back. Jake, enjoy 6.
I will. I'm going to take quarterback. I'm going to take Mahomes and not draft another quarterback.
There you go. See, lay the nuts on the table, man.
No, you're laying your nuts into a fat 0.
Sure. Yeah.
Andrew just wants it to be fair. He would also just like 2 of 5.
I for the life of me, I would love to hear this strategy because I just don't know how you can take a 0 quarterback.
Listen, it's not optimal. I didn't go in thinking I was only going to take Mahomes. Again, I was planning on taking Baker, and you're like, oh, I'll just take Baker and McMillan. Not that there wasn't Cooper Kupp and Matt Stafford or Jaden Daniels and somebody.
Sorry.
Bitch. Well, I'm not asking you to. I'm just saying that's why I kind of had to do that. I'd rather just have that team be dead, waste $5, than just take a random Matt Stafford and just have one player do nothing for 1 week.
I'm just gonna. I'll get off the topic, but I'm just gonna completely disagree with you because you could have drafted Stafford, gotten 25 points from Stafford, and then had Mahomes the rest of the way through. I just don't understand your thinking here.
Maybe, just maybe.
Take Hurts. Take Hurts.
The one spot in these drafts is so optimal. Like you have so many Buffalo options as stacks too. It's very nice.
It is.
Until Buffalo does what they do every year and just lose in the playoffs.
True.
Yeah.
But when you get that first pick, use it wisely. I am not taking a running back there. Not happening.
Tim D says, if you guys had a free 10K bet, what teams would you guys have in the Super Bowl? Like, so you're asking to pick, like, we bet 10K on somebody to make it to the Super Bowl or to win the Super Bowl? Or are we splitting it between 2?
Can you parlay, like, is he parlaying the conference winners?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Like, is that what you want, or you want us to pick a winner?
I'm going to be a homer. I think Buffalo Eagles is what I would pick. But.
Yeah. Chiefs and Vikings.
I mean, Adam Schefter tweeted it out last year on accident, but give me Chiefs and Commanders. That's what he tweeted it because he messed up in his tweet. He put the Commanders and Chiefs have arrived at the Super Bowl, and somebody retweeted it. That's the only reason I remembered. And I was like, oh, he was foreshadowing for this year.
How much, Andrew? I'll make a wager with you. How much money you want to put on the Commanders not making? Well, you're going to obviously bet them to make. But
make what? The next round?
The Super Bowl.
Oh, the Super Bowl?
Yeah, the next round. Super Bowl.
I think they could win a game.
I think they can too. I mean,
they could. Yeah. Austin Eckler coming back. That helps.
Bueller, anyone? Yeah, I already said that.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Oh, my B.
I'm the resident Eckler stan here.
He was too focused on taking a 0 quarterback. He wasn't listening.
Oh, man.
You want to take Mahomes again?
He gave it to you, Bruni.
Yep.
Now, Jake, you just took Bruni, you took Mahomes and Allen?
Yep. And James Cook.
Jesus Christ.
Now everyone's options are limited in the AFC. I'm going to push people to make tough decisions out of the AFC.
Now, in your strategy here, I would do all KC, all Buffalo.
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no reason to. I just get to pick if the best team's going to make it, then they're going to be it.
Because you can definitely fill a full roster with both of those teams.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
We just talked about it.
Yeah, Andrew just said you're picking teams from the same conference.
No, we just talked about how we would do that if we did it. This is exactly what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Like 5 and 5.
Yep, I like it.
Folks are going to hurt me for it, but
Kyron at 16 with Hurts and there's another.
I believe they also probably just really want to get the build. I did that.
That guy wanted Devontae Smith, but I played some defense and didn't let him get Devontae Smith.
Good boy, had a man. All right, so we have one Cook, one receiver. I wonder if Kelsey will fall. That would be crazy.
Yeah, see, the problem is I'm not trying to compete against you here, but I have all Detroit, so now I need an AFC stack.
Now you need an AFC.
You have both.
Don't feel bad for Bruni. You didn't feel bad for me. Don't be playing that
side. The Ravens. Have I talked to you about J.K. Dobbins and Ladd McConkey?
Sorry.
You have 5 minutes to talk about the Denver Broncos, who are just getting completely dismissed in this catalog here.
Yeah, do they even get drafted?
No. Cortland Sutton does, but Bo Nix, Estime, no. Marvin Mims Jr., you want to talk about an explosive player these past few weeks? Nobody touching him, Jake. You're welcome. I've given you the freedom to walk the path of the Bronco.
Hey, I was a Marvin Mims guy in BBM. I had a couple Marvin Mims teams.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything, but they would have in week.
And why would they?
Correct. Just like Adam Thielen, back to your beautiful point. I know Andrew hates that, but scored on the winning. Ricky Pearsall and Adam Thielen scored on the winning BBM team.
It's okay. The previous year, he was giving me the same type of shit for Chuba Hubbard. Was on BBM 4 championship team.
Absolute smash this year. Herzig made a good point though. He said, "Would you pick Chuba knowing that he's not going to play in the championship round?" Brutal.
Why you got to do that to me, man? Why you got to do that to me like that? So we got 1, 2, okay. Okay, here we go, man. We're going in.
All right. This has been the point of the draft where it gets interesting. A lot of the top players picked on the teams that you are drafting the quarterbacks from. Now now you pivot to the other teams. What teams do you want to stack?
When these things happen, that's exactly what you should do. You should run to create a unique Packers, a unique Chargers, Buccaneers build. That's what gives you the freedom to then go and do that, because you won't see a lot of those drafts.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. But that was my point too, is don't go take like Josh Jacobs now and then take Rams later like that.
No, yeah. Just say, okay, this is the way it's going. There's some asshole named Best Ball Bruni, whatever, JM Bruni up in here, picking the 1-2 seed in the AFC. I got to do something different.
Yeah, like, I mean, if anybody wants to go take Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now, it's a good time to do it. Oh, Jake, you drafted one? Oh, no. Hopefully nobody else takes them.
It's like I literally
The problem is, Bruni,
are you deaf?
Everyone in the room is going to be pissed at you for doing that, so then they're just going to snipe all your stacks.
Can you really, though? With
No,
how
you
deep
can't.
they run?
You can't.
I'll take Juju.
You can't.
I'll take Justin Watson. I'll take Noah Gray. Noah Gray is scoring a touchdown in the Super Bowl, bro.
That's not a bad pick. Are you giving a future bet if KC wins the AFC?
So far, I have Allen Mahomes, Cook, Pacheco, Worthy, Cooper. Ta-da! Let's just go Hunt. Nah, they not two running backs that early like that. Let's do Kincaid. Even though I hate it. Maybe he'll bring himself to life here in the playoffs.
Yeah, I love that build because you're taking zeros from KC, but Buffalo's offense can get you through one round.
Yep, let's pray for the Bengals making it through.
That'd be a nice run out.
Yeah, some fireworks. But see, and that gives me also that freedom to go after some Denver or Bengals players now that I have that, because if they're in, they're playing the Bills. But I don't think I need to. I don't think that's necessary. See, like Puka at this value is amazing. Yeah, who just took him? This guy. That's a crazy fall for Puka.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, Jake, aren't you just automatically taking David Montgomery here?
What?
Aren't you just auto taking David? Yeah, say yeah.
Yeah, I had him queued up. Relax.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I see. Look, I don't even know. I'm trying to help you. I thought you were like not taking him. Like you were taking a while. I'm like, are you not just taking him?
Settle down, girls. All right, just calm down. Put your purses away. All right.
I was just asking. I mean, he was sitting there.
Jeez.
So now here's the point. So if I have just Goff, I would be more willing to take a zero knowing he's not the one seed.
Oh, now it changes. Jesus Christ.
No, you know the guy's not
fucking guy.
Honestly, I think Detroit loses.
So do I. Yeah, I agree with you there, but it's the same precedence of you're accepting that you might just take a zero.
Well, I'm not, because I'm going to take another quarterback, but I'm just saying.
Well, somebody hurry up and take Baker Mayfield.
Baker McMillan. It's a great combo at the last 9-10 with Bucky. Andrew, was Smitty a guy you just added in there to like just boost your first round, or were you hoping to get more Philly stacks?
No, yeah, I figured I could probably get I was willing to take Goddard, Calcaterra. I'm probably going to take Gainwell potentially as well. Don't know yet on that one, but
what do you guys think? Noah Gray or Justin Watson? I think Noah Gray's the pick.
I think Noah Gray's the pick. I love your build out. Like you literally just committed to it and you did it. I love it. Yeah.
That's literally the entire theme of the show. Plant your flag. Don't run around getting distracted by, oh, hey, that's a nice name. Oh, hey. Yep. Ooh. Like there's a reason why Puka fell, because nobody stand the Rams in this lobby. Cooper Kupp still there, by the way. If anyone wants to dabble, I don't need to. No one take my sweet Noah. Andrew's going to do it. He's a bastard.
Take who?
Noah Gray.
I'm not taking Noah Gray. Didn't you just hear me? I'm not taking just random player. Random. Not doing that.
It wouldn't be random if you were trying to hurt me, Andrew. It wouldn't be random.
Kenny Gainwell, come on down.
It was a huge crime when I wanted to do it. I do not have the highest projection. Second highest.
Oh, neat. Those matter.
I know. All right, gents. I am out for the night. If you two would like to continue on, you may, but I have to.
No, all good. Hope everyone enjoyed that. If you have any other questions, obviously feel free to reach out to any of us on Twitter. We'll answer any questions. But I think it's a fun contest. It's weird. I always see people talking about the contest and they're like, there's so many ways to draft this. We really don't have any true knowledge on how to win this contest because it's only been out for how many years now. But I think there are right and wrong ways to draft. I just don't think there's right and wrong strategies per se, outside of don't just take fucking one player from a bunch of teams. That makes no sense. But outside of that, yeah, I mean, it's a very, very, very fun contest. Good way to, get the little gambling itch a while for the playoffs. Get yourself thinking about the playoffs and how you see these teams winning and or losing these games. Definitely a lot of thought process goes into these. So, a lot of fun. And I did put it out on Twitter. If you haven't already, go over to Establish a Run and listen to the playoff best ball podcast that they put out with Herzig. It was very informative, and they talk about a lot of the stuff that we talked about on here as well, just a little bit more in depth. But yeah, so definitely go check that out if you're going to be.
Are Steve and Meg doing a special for playoffs?
I don't know. They said that they are doing a little bit more research. I don't know if they are going to put one out or not. I think, if anything, we might be able to find some stuff on the website. Steve or Meg might put out some rankings or an article on the website. If you haven't already, go over to fanspeak.com and check out all the articles over there. As always, it is plentiful of information, so go check that out. But Bruni, anything else? Jake, anything else?
No, I think I'm good. As always, fabulous time on here. Very fun contest. I think there's a lot of discussion that can go around. We could sit here for a long time and discuss stuff, but don't think there's any.
I think debate is the word.
Yeah, debate. I don't think, again, like Andrew said, no wrong strategies. Just don't pick guys from the same team. Love Bruni's build last. Two teams from the same conference, two teams from the opposite conference, or stack 3-4 different teams. So appreciate you guys. Always love coming on, and hopefully we streamed a Mitten 2 final team
for me.
Yeah,
you've already been to the finals, Jake. Settle down.
We can all be in.
Yeah.
I didn't say that either. Okay, pal. Settle down.
Oh shit.
No, appreciate you coming on, Jake. Again, congratulations on the regular season winnings. 293 out of 600,000+ people. Absolutely amazing. You are welcome back anytime. Andrew, I will see you tomorrow night. I'll see the rest of you in the chat tomorrow night for DGen Dads. Take care. Be well. Be good. If you can't be good at it. We'll see you guys later.